Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the video tutorial, How to Conquer Yourself, which is going to be pretty cool. It should be really interesting. Hope you enjoy it. It's essentially 5 tips and techniques for building your self-discipline, cultivating self-control, willpower, managing stress, improving your productivity, everything along those lines, you could say. About me, my name is Brian Ogilvy, and I blog daily about getting focused, essentially self motivation, self discipline, time management, and everything related to getting your mind right. Keeping a good perspective that allows you to stay engaged for what's important, what your goals are over the long term. Also have a YouTube channel, obviously, right? And most recently, I'm doing a program or a blogging series called Conquer Yourself, which I originally did back in March of 2010, but I took down for renovations and I'm reposting now. Here's some examples. It's essentially 13 lessons, and I'm between 6 and 7 now, I believe. Um, it's pretty cool. What's next? Oh, right. The URL for the blog is dotheknowledge.com/transcend. So if this kind of thing interests you, if this is important to you, something you'd like to, get handled or you know would benefit you, I encourage you to check it out. It's very interesting. I have a lot of fun putting it together. So right, what I want to do is cover a few lessons. Oops, hold up. What I want to do is cover a few lessons from that series. The first was the beginning steps, sort of like the intro. And the main point was that productivity is just as much about undoing things as it is doing things. I mentioned the Chinese inventor, the guy who created what I believe the first Chinese typewriter, Lin Yu Tang. He says, the wisdom of life consists in the elimination of non essentials. So the major point in the first phase was to let go of all unproductive busy work, such as checking email or social networking, the things that are like on the fringe of actual work that are not necessarily taking you closer towards your goals and the results that you want, because it's difficult to be disciplined when you feel overwhelmed with just the onslaught of minor tasks and minor responsibilities that aren't really transporting you anywhere. So you can think of your time, your energy, and your attention. Your attention is essentially your mind power, as sort of being like the fuel in a tank. And you have to be wise about the expenditures you make because it's limited within a 24-hour day. There's only so much willpower you have, there's only so much energy you have. So you want to make sure you're not squandering it on, you know, impulse, impulse activities, if you will. The second lesson was on overcoming procrastination. And essentially, the main point there was that we procrastinate when we make a false association between how we perform and what our identity is. I used a great example, a great like visualization exercise that walks you through an entire, I guess you can say, experience that'll reframe how you think about procrastination and restructure how you approach your work for more results, more productivity. But the underlying lesson here, the underlying point, was that you have to stop associating what you're able to do with your value as a person. And the main thing that keeps people from working, keeps people from starting, or makes people hesitant to take things to the next level is that they feel that if they fail or if they make a mistake, that that'll be some type of measurement of their own personal value, which is which obviously is going to block people from, going forward. The third lesson was on self mastery. Specifically, the entry was called "Self Discipline Begins with a Desire for Self Mastery." And what I meant there was that you should focus more so on your craft than your actual material goal. Specifically, if you wanted to write a book, it would be better to focus on becoming a great writer than just writing some book. If you wanted to make an album, it would be better to focus on becoming a great musician rather than just making a few songs. And even in fields like weight loss, if you study a lot of the experts, they suggest that if you really want to lose weight and keep the weight off, you have to internally feel that you deserve a body that reflects who you are on the inside. It's really like an internal thing. And underlying this lesson, the main point was that you can begin to look at self-discipline as a moral value, as sort of like a thing you want to develop for your own character, rather than just something you need to achieve whatever material goal you may have in mind. It's really, really important. This was actually my favorite lesson out of the entire series. A few final ideas just to wrap up. The first is a quote by Khalil Gibran. The lust for comfort kills the passion of the soul. Khalil Gibran was a Lebanese writer. The second is possession pampers the mind while deprivation trains and strengthens it. That was by an English writer, not so well known, William Hazlitt. And the point I'm making here is that because we live in a consumer culture, we live in a culture that conditions us for consumption, conditions us for entertainment, conditions us, especially with technology, for distraction, and also for indulgence. There's um there's a consequence in that draws us away from the values of industriousness, self-discipline, and productivity. In fact, these factors kind of come together to form a subtle kind of conspiracy, if you will, against you becoming more self-disciplined. It's really important to recognize so that it doesn't affect you. So, just a quick review. First is productivity is just as much about undoing something as it is about doing something. The important thing you need to do is let go of the busy work that's draining your energy from focusing on the actual tasks that are going to create results, sustainable results over time. Second, stop making identity meanings out of your work performance. Stop judging yourself and your own value as a person based on what specific goals you're able to accomplish or the quality of your work itself, because it's just work, and you need to free up that energy so that you can experiment and make the mistakes that are a necessary part of the process. And fourth, or really this was the fourth in the series, but it's the third here in this video. Self-discipline begins with a desire for self-mastery. So focus on the craft, focus on the discipline itself and being a master of what it is that you do, rather than just the rewards themselves. Fourth, the culture we live in perpetuates a subtle kind of conspiracy against you becoming more self-disciplined, so just be wary of that. And fifth, I didn't really touch on this yet, self-discipline cultivates self-esteem. When you can look at something you've accomplished, when you can look at your work, when you can actually bring something from your mind into the physical world, it it brings a sense of satisfaction and a sense of gratification that you can't find a parallel to elsewhere. So it's very important. That's really what I want for you. That's what I want to help create more of in this world. Because, like I was saying with that fourth point, the traditional American character of industriousness and, you know, just the work ethic is essentially gone, and now we're just known for like sloth and indulgence. Again, for more great tips, techniques on self-discipline or any of the things related to staying focused, getting focused, and maintaining that drive, go to my blog. It's dothenowledge.com/transcend. You'll see a link in the video description. Again, this is just the beginning. There's essentially 13 sessions that I'm going to be putting up, so it like goes in depth. I go more in depth with the points I just mentioned, and also there's about 10 more sessions that cover different aspects of what we're building on here. It's a unique category on the blog. So what I mean is, it's mid-September as of this recording. I don't know, when you're actually looking at this, but if you go to the blog under the category section in the right sidebar, hopefully this picture's big enough for the video to display. There's a section called Conquer Yourself, so you can click on that and then get all the sessions there. Again, thanks for checking this out. It means a lot, and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, peace, and take care. Later.